that we normally share. Hello, good morning, and welcome to Wardrobe Declutter. I was just in the middle of saying hello and welcome, but also that my awesome assistant, Mary Lou, is not with us today. So if there are links and things that we need to share throughout the session, we will make sure that they are sent out with the recording this afternoon. Anyone that can't make it, we send the recording to, and it will be on YouTube as well. So those links will be available, whether it's booking in for the next workshop or anything we mentioned today. So I'll still be here hosting, but Mary Lou normally puts in other links to things. So we will be able to soldier on without her, and we wish her all the best. She's just not feeling 100% today. Thank you again, everyone, for joining us. I'm sure you are joining us from everywhere around the world. And we're going to make this interactive today. I often tell people to use the chat when we're sharing our wisdom, but today I think we're going to unmute ourselves and have a bit of a conversation about how you can go about decluttering and organizing your wardrobe. So we're looking at specifically your clothes, your wardrobe, your walk-in robe, your cupboards, your drawers, wherever you might have all of your clothes, bags, handbags, shoes, all of those bits and pieces that could be associated with your wardrobe. So as I said, thanks for coming along today. Have a good think about what you're looking to learn today. You can pop that in the chat, or if you're watching the recording, pop it in the comments on YouTube. What are you struggling with? I had someone message me before and ask about folding, but what's the best way to fold the clothes? So we will have a look at that when we're talking about storage. But what else would you like to know about organizing your clothes? Pop it in the chat. Here we are. Space and time is the business, and we are all about making conscious choices with how we use our space and our time. Where have those words gone? It says conscious choices about how we use our, and a semicolon. I don't know where space and time has gone. Must not have copied over very well from the last one. I'll need to tweak that. Anyway, it's all about creating systems to create a simpler life.
Julie, are you still sharing your slides?
Yes, can you not see it?
We've gone back to the seeing everybody's faces.
All right, thank you. And how weird. Because I appreciate you letting me know there, because that would be very boring. Now, let me stop the share and I'll go back onto it. Thanks for letting me know that. Is that back again? Cool. Wonder why that disappeared. How strange. Anyway, here we are. Again, thank you for letting me know that. So on my slide, as it says conscious choices about how we use our. It should say space and time there, because the business name is Space and Time, and it's all about, as I said, creating systems for an easier and simpler life. And as I mentioned, we are talking specifically about wardrobes today. And we've got some more things coming up after the session today. So we will show you and explain to you some ways to continue your decluttering journey after today. Let me have a look at the chat. Come on, chat. Hello, chat. Chat doesn't want to work. How funny. Oh, here we go. Yes. Thanks, MJ. MJ says, need more space in the wardrobe. That is a good thing to be able to concentrate on today, so we can declutter and make room for the things that we are actually wearing. Fantastic. So here I am. I'm Julie Cliff. My business is Space and Time. Before starting the business almost 10 years ago, I was an executive assistant and administrator for 20 years. So helping others get and stay organized is something I've enjoyed doing my whole life. I'm the oldest of 4 children, running the household when I was about 7, when mum went to work and dad was on the farm, on the tractor, doing farm things. But now I run a team of professional organizers here in Melbourne and in Geelong. Married and 2 teenagers, one of who is still in bed because he doesn't have to go to work just yet, and the other is at school today. And as that little bubble says out the top of my head, I am writing a book. So I'm putting these 6 steps of the organizing system that we are going to go through today putting that in a book. So keep an eye out for that. It will be out next year. But we're going to talk specifically through the 6 steps in relation to our wardrobe today. Let me have a look. We're going to, Despina, thank you. I've transitioned from 3 countries and 3 different homes in the last 10 years. Many transitions, not sure what's next. So identity is also in transition. Love my stuff also. That's a tricky one. Yeah, lots of things, lots of different places, and who knows what's next. So that can really be a tricky one as to what to let go and what to make space for. So we'll keep that in mind. Thank you for sharing that as we're going through today, because I'm sure other people are thinking in a similar way as well. Lots of things, love their things, but not sure what to do with it because not quite sure where they're up to. All right, let's have a look briefly at the 6 steps of the space and time organizing system. And then I'm going to talk a little bit about stop the stuff, which is the first step. And then I'm going to ask everybody for their input. So as I said, here's the 6 steps. First one, stop the stuff. So we're going to talk about ways to stop more stuff from coming into your wardrobe in the first place, because the easiest way to declutter is to not have much stuff in the first place. Your commitment to being organized is the second step. Third step is sort the stuff. Fourth step is things you no longer need. Fifth step, excuse me, is easy storage for your stuff and to-do items, because this is the space and time organizing system. And the last step is maintenance tools. So let's have a look at the first step. Stop the stuff. So what is the big deal of having too much stuff in your wardrobe and being unorganized? And as MJ just said, would like to have some more room in her wardrobe. So that is one challenge with having too much stuff, is that you just can't get to the stuff that you're actually wearing, or you just can't see what's there to know that it's there to be able to wear it. So we find it difficult to find things. If there's too much, it can be frustrating and overwhelming. And we do sometimes rebuy things because we'd forgot we even had that garment tucked at the back. So we want to try and stop more things from coming in. And maybe we've got too much stuff that we're not wearing, as I mentioned. Don't know where anything is, and they're insufficient space to put the stuff that you do wear, as we've mentioned a couple of times. So that's what we're really looking to focus on today, to clear up some space for the things that we do own, as well as sort of reacquaint ourselves with what we've got in the wardrobe, because there may be some things that we do want to wear, but we just forgot that they were there. And also the idea of stopping more stuff from coming in is to be able to see what we have. And you probably would have heard the idea of shop your wardrobe. So rather than actually literally go to the shops, pretend that your wardrobe is a shop and you can go through it and grab some different items that you've never worn together before. Whether it's a top and skirt or pants and jumper. And sometimes it can be really helpful to get a professional like myself in to help you with this, or have your girlfriend or your mum or your sister or your brother or your cousin or your husband or your kids. Get them to help you shop your wardrobe, get some combinations going that you've never worn before. And that can be really fun and an exciting way to expand what you do have to wear in a different way. But continuing on with the idea of stopping more things from coming into your wardrobe, I would like you to resist the sales. You know, those cheeky marketing and salespeople that are spamming us with all their emails, or on Instagram or on the telly with different ads, you know, buy one, get one free. You are cleverer than them. They are very clever, and they use lots of money to try and get you to buy their things. But I think you are more clever. I think you can get a hold of your wardrobe and know, I don't need 2 jackets. I don't need them just because if you buy one, you get one free. I don't even need one, let alone needing 2. So I highly recommend resisting the sales. If you do need something, absolutely, and you've got it on your list, and it's a good list, and it's it's a good price, and it's what you want, and it's going to fill a bit of a gap in your wardrobe, go for it. But don't just buy it because it's cheap. I think go in with the mindset that if it was at full price, would you buy the item? And also highly recommend only purchase clothes if you try it on in person. So go into the shop, put it on, and just check the fit on it. I worked in for a lady here locally, a good friend of mine, Claudine. She runs a business called Mon Cherie, and they are a bridal business. I worked with her for a couple of years as I was building the space and time business. And she would have many brides knocking on her door saying, I urgently need a dress. I ordered something online. The wedding is in 3 weeks, and the gown has arrived and it doesn't fit. So highly recommend go to the shop, try the items on. And also, as I mentioned before, have a list of things that you do need out of your wardrobe, because sometimes we do need to buy things. The weather might have changed. You might have outgrown something. You've lost weight. You've put on weight. You lost your favorite shoes, whatever it might be. Keep yourself a good list and go out shopping with it and stick to it so that you are keeping on track and not bringing stuff in that you don't need. Excuse me, checking my watch. People send me messages every now and then. It might be, I can't get in. Where's the workshop link? So I like to try and keep an eye on messages that are coming through. And that second last stop point there says resist aimlessly scrolling through online shopping. Again, they are very tricky, those marketing people. They'll show you all these beautiful items, but do you really need it? I'd suggest getting a new hobby. Pick up a book, go for a walk, something other than just scrolling. I think you'd highly enjoy other activities rather than just looking through the sales that people have got on. Keep in mind some other ways. I'm going to ask you in a second. I'm going to stop rambling on and ask you what and get you to unmute yourself. You can unmute yourself now. What are some other ways we can stop more things from coming in? Or have you got a funny story to tell me about something that you bought online that didn't work out very well? And the last point there in black says, borrow or hire an outfit for a special occasion rather than purchasing it, particularly if it's, going out to somebody's wedding or something like that. It's going to be something you only wear once. Have a think about doing something like that. And there are more and more businesses available for hiring clothes, and even just people with their own wardrobes. It's not even a Ferrari formal hire, not even a formal hiring place. Look, people are just hiring out their wardrobe. So check out those sorts of things online. Don't get too caught up with what they have and what you don't, but it might be just what you need for a special occasion that's coming up, which means you could borrow their item for a short time, pay them for it, and return it. So what are some other ways? I'm going to have a look at the chat and then I'm going to ask. Yes, stop the stuff. Wardrobe guilt. Yes, I understand. Some people do clothing. I can't read that. Sorry, clothing exchanges. Yes, I love it, Rebecca. It's a great idea. So clothing exchanges, that might be a community group or something like that put that together, or just personally. And Jade says, last year I tried on everything I owned and got rid of so much I liked on the hanger, but not on me. Jade, I love that. Tried it all on. How clever is that? Look good on the hanger, but not so good on the person. Lovely. MJ says, leave the credit card at home when you're going to the shopping center, except for grocery items, or you need something. Or you can, use something like ING so that it's a special account. MJ, is that your idea, that you've just got a special spending account? Tell us more about that one.
the ING had advertised a big lion.
Oh,
So
yeah,
you feed the credit card to the lion.
that's right. Yeah, the ads are showing that, aren't they? Yeah, that
Yeah.
they'll look after your money for you.
Yeah.
It's a good idea. It's Karen or Dola or Despina or anybody, Jade, Rebecca, Kelly, anyone else got any ideas? Despina says, I'm experimenting with wardrobe apps. Yep. To take stock. That's a great idea. I do know there are a lot of apps out there. And I think the last time I ran this workshop, I mentioned that when I was right into fashion, because I forgot to say that when I finished school, I studied a certificate in fashion. Growing up, I sewed my own clothes and did a lot of that. So from school, I went and studied fashion for a whole year, pattern making, the whole thing. So I was right into it. And I'd have lists of all my clothes and when I wore them and what I mixed and matched. But you don't have to do the old, longhand anymore. There are a lot of apps to be able to keep you on track. So what's that one? Wearing Index, is it?
There's
WHER?
two, yeah, there's two there's quite a lot of them, but the ones that I've started playing around with, one is called Wearing, which is I think from the UK, Wearing, and the other is Index, which
There's
seems to
two
be
different
getting
ones.
a few rave reviews. There's a lot of other ones, but I just thought I'd play around with a couple
Yes.
first before I go through the whole rigmarole of loading.
Yeah, good idea. Yeah, and you've is there one that you're liking more than the other at the moment?
Not really. I think the question is how good is the AI, because some of them actually do random recommendations of outfits. Others are more around taking stock with a view of maybe in the future having exchanges.
Yes.
These two that I'm experimenting with are much newer than some of the older ones.
Yeah, great, thank you. And that really fits right in with our idea here that we're trying to stop more stuff from coming in. So let's wear what we've got more often. Great, thanks for sharing.
Sorry, I'll just let you know that you've unshared your slides.
I have. I deliberately did that.
Okay, just checking.
Thank you again, though. Karen says, stay off the free pages on Facebook. I was addicted to buying nothing. Absolutely, Karen. I love it. That is so true. A freebie isn't necessarily a bargain if you're not going to wear it and it's cluttering up your space. So I love that. Stay off those pages. MJ says, oh, that's right. I've forgotten, MJ, that you sew your own stuff, and you still do. I don't get to the machine as often as I would like to now. Accumulated lots of material, so slowly sewing them. Excellent. We're surprised the prices of materials nowadays, which are 200% on what she paid for them. Yeah, that's so scary, isn't it? How prices have increased on everything, but fabric in particular by the sound of it. Yeah, thanks, MJ. I've forgotten that you're a bit of a seamstress. I'm so glad that you are, making time to do that. I sat down with my son last weekend. He bought a fluffy blanket and made a pair of pajamas out of them, just the bottoms. And I was a bit tired and I said, did you want these pajamas? Do you want them? And did you want to make them? They're sort of two separate things, because I said, I haven't really got the brain space to sit and help you do it, but I'm happy to do them for you. So we did them together. He's very good on the sewing machine. He's 14, but he's been sewing a long time. And the first time he sat at the machine was just amazing. He looked like he'd been doing it his whole life. So I promised him I'll make more time, just like MJ does, make more time to do our crafting and make the clothes that we want, and we can make them fit us if we're lucky. All right, any last things about stopping more stuff from coming in before we switch on to the next step? No. All right, let's go. Let's share my screen again. Let's hope that it's going to work for us. There we are, back again. Yeah, beautiful. Thank you. So that was the first step. The second step is your commitment to being organized. So it's all about making time in the diary to get started on the problem area and really making a commitment to ourselves that we want to be more organized with our wardrobe, with our clothing, with the bags, with the handbags, and be a little bit more strategic about it. You know, organized people are that way because they put time into it and they make an effort. It doesn't just magically happen. The fairies, unfortunately, don't come overnight with their magic wands. You know, organized people put the time into being organized. So highly recommend to put some time in the weekly planner, which we will share. When we send this recording out, we'll share a link to our weekly planner so you can plot out your week, put your work in there, put all your other commitments in there, and put your decluttering time in there. You might want 10 minutes a couple of times a day or a couple of hours on a Thursday, and get committed. Or you might even write yourself a little goal. Oh, you can see it. This one here says, I can find what I need in 30 seconds or less. So this is a commitment. This is a goal. This is what I'm working towards. Write it on a piece of paper or a card, carry it around with you to remind you what all this decluttering and organizing business is about. Have a think about what you might write on your card to help you get organized with your clothing. Let's move on to, we're still talking about your commitment to being organized. And as I said, organized people are that way because they choose to do it. And that might mean you need to change the way that you do things. Maybe you've been a little bit disorganized for a long time, for your whole life. So you need to bring in some new habits, or you might just need to get back to how you used to do it. Because people often tell me that, oh yeah, I used to be organized when I was at work full time, or I used to be organized when the kids were small, or there's often a time or a space and time in their life where they have been organized with their clothing. So it might be just a matter of tweaking, making small changes to how they're getting themselves sorted out so they can be organized. And as I mentioned, we want to start doing what organized people do. So when you change out of your work clothes, either to put your house clothes on in the afternoon like I do, particularly at this time of year when it's cold in Melbourne, I get home, put my big fluffy tracky pants on, big fluffy jumper and a scarf to keep me warm so we don't have to have the heater cranked up quite so hard. You know, put the clothes straight in the wash or hang them out to air. I usually wash my clothes because I've got my uniform. I wash them every day because I'm in dusty homes, I'm inside cupboards, I'm getting sweaty sometimes. So mostly I do wash my clothes every day. But you might not have to because you might have just been in the office for a couple of hours or been to a doctor's appointment. Change out of those clothes and hang them up. Do something with them. Don't put them on the floor. Don't put them on the floor drobe. Don't put them on the chair beside you. Have a dedicated spot where you can put your washing and where you can put your clothes to air, so that you can deliberately make these small changes, which means the clutter doesn't build up. So again, this step here is all about getting the mindset right. It's about, yes, I am an organized person. I want you to start saying that to yourself. I am an organized person and I have an awesome wardrobe and I can find things that I want in 30 seconds or less. Let me have a look at the chat. Thanks, MJ. She says, any day at night. Yep, any day at night when nothing nice on TV to watch, twice a week for an hour. So that's her commitment. I love it. So any day or in the nighttime when there's nothing to watch, going to do some decluttering and organize. What an awesome commitment. I love it. Thank you very much for sharing. Anything that anyone wants to share about your commitment to being organized before we jump on to the next step? When would be a good time for you? Despina, you've unmuted? Yeah.
Yeah, look, I'm extremely organized. My DVDs are in alphabetical order. I've got an issue clearly with books, so not quite the Dewey system, but they're all clustered by type. My issue with the wardrobe is that I've just got too much stuff and I've moved to a much smaller house.
Yeah.
In the past, I had everything in wardrobes or on shoe racks, hidden in wardrobes.
Yes.
Now it's out. You know, I've actually got 2 industrial racks with clothes on them that can't go in wardrobes. So the issue isn't being organized. The issue is how do you get back to the state where to fit the space that you have.
Yes, yeah. So you're talking about the process of the decluttering?
No, I'm actually talking, I'm not ready to get rid of stuff because I don't know if I'm going to go back into work,
Got it.
or I'm going to do some volunteer work, or I'm changing from a senior corporate role to who knows what.
Yeah.
So obvious stuff to declutter is very
Mm.
easy, like
Mm.
things that don't fit, or
Mm.
things that don't match your personal style, or things that the children had that you don't want to keep anymore. But I'm going to reach that limit where I still don't have enough space.
Yeah, yeah. And that might be okay for now. It's probably really annoying you, but if you're where you are for now and that's the only space that you've got, we'll share some ideas shortly about different storage options. But I always preface that you don't really need storage options if you have less stuff, but you are in a real transition at the moment. So it's a tricky spot. I really appreciate that. That's where you're at. So let's keep that in mind as we're moving through the next steps. Thanks again. So the next step we're going to do is to sort the stuff. So this is a way to help you with the overwhelm of just trying to do all of your clothes. We want to have a look and start sorting just by category. So it's, and I love the sorting step, you know, even if you are at somebody's house that's very disorganized and all the clothes are on the floor, you know, in 10 or 15 minutes, when you start to rehang things or put all the pants together or the leggings together or the long sleeve tops, whatever it might be, you can really start to see what the client has got and start to make some sense of what it is rather than just this big pile of stuff that just seems so overwhelming. So as I mentioned at the start, this 6-step system is deliberately in this order to help you with the overwhelm. But we haven't got rid of anything yet. When we're still not getting rid of anything in this sorting step, it's just really a processing the emotions that come with looking through your clothing as well, because it's amazing what emotions those little pieces of fabric have and how they can really pull on our heartstrings. But this is really just something to go with the flow, let the emotions come and go as we're looking at all of these different categories. So we might decide, okay, we're going to go through our wardrobe and have a look at all our jeans. So grab your jeans from wherever you've got them hidden and lie them all out or bring them together in the one spot. I love using just a portable hanging rack for this step in the system, the sorting. So you've got a little bit of extra space so you can bring things out of the wardrobe or out of the walk-in robe and you've got just the jeans hanging. And I've actually had a couple of clients that have done this. They started with jackets, I think, and she just put all the jackets in that category on the hanging rack for the next few days. And then each time she'd walk past them, she'd have a look at them and she'd go, nah, I really can't stand the look at that one, or, oh, that one gives me bad vibes, or, you know, she was letting some of the emotions come into it, but she did it over time. She didn't quickly want to get it done in 5 minutes. She was just letting the clothes sort of speak to her and going through the different categories. And she found that a more manageable way of doing it rather than just stepping into the wardrobe and looking at everything at the one time. So highly recommend going through, as I said, get your jeans out, get the pants out, get your skirts out, get the dresses out, and just sort them together. And this might seem like a real no-brainer, but when you've been in some of the homes that I have worked in, when there is clothes all over the house, all over different parts of the house, it's in the wardrobe, it's in the, you know, everywhere, just this sorting and this categorizing is a big step and really very helpful for the client. So don't underestimate it. If you've already got your things nicely sorted, which I'm sure a few of them have, it's a really good spot to be, and you should, you know, give yourself a bit of a pat on the back if they're already sorted like that. And also sorting by season can be helpful. If you haven't got much space, and you've got somewhere else, maybe it's the wardrobe or some, the garage or some higher shelves somewhere in, or cupboards in the home that you might be able to put some seasonal items in or out of season. You know, pack your summer gear away, but if you're in Melbourne, you know, make sure you don't put your layers away too far because you'll need them. You never know when it gets a bit cooler here. So this sorting, as I say, it just really helps us see what we've got, let the emotions come and go. We're not getting rid of anything yet. We're just getting it sorted and getting ready for the next step, which is actually the decluttering step. Let me keep going on to that step because that's something that is, I'm sure you've all come along for. How do we let go of items that we no longer need? The fourth step, an easy way to start is to let go of duplicate items. You know, if you've got 15 pairs of jeans and you only wear them once a week, well, you know, that's, you could wear, you know, you'd only get to wear them twice a year if you were rotating them. So maybe you could let go of some of the jeans, you know, try them on and see how they fit. As mentioned before, just because I think it was Jade said, just because they look good on the hanger, not necessarily so good when they're on you. And maybe get a friend to come over and give you a hand. And that would be someone obviously that you trust and appreciate, and you know, you trust what their opinion is. Do a bit of a fashion parade, particularly with these duplicates, and to be able to decide which ones to keep and which ones you can let go. And keeping in mind what sort of occasions that you're regularly going to. Maybe you do need 15 pairs of jeans if you're wearing them every day, but I only wear them hardly at all. I'm just not really a jeans person. I've got quite a few pairs of leggings, but I've probably got more jeans than I need. So have a think about those items that you don't wear very often, and they can be some of the ones that you let go to be able to free up some more space in your wardrobe. Keep in mind what you're trying to achieve. Remember that goal that we wrote down, you know, trying to find something in 30 seconds or less. What's your goal? What are you trying to do? Or are you just generally trying to make more room in your wardrobe? Or is there something specific that you want your wardrobe to do? I get dressed in the morning in the dark because it's 5:35 when I get up. And so it's really important that I know where things are in my wardrobe. I do actually, this is to get up and do my workouts in the morning. So I do get it out and I put it on the floor, and I've got a little tiny night light that comes on. But that is one reason why I like to be organized, so that I can be doing things in the dark because I'm awake a lot earlier than other people are in the house. So what are you trying to do? What are you trying to achieve? Let me know. Why are you letting things go? Also, beware of the excuses. You know, oh, I might wear it one day. Well, you might. Or you might just have it hanging in the back of your wardrobe for the next 20 years, taking up space that something else could be there. So just beware of those excuses that are coming up. Let go by category once sorted. As I said, start with the jeans or the socks or items that don't bring up so much emotion. See if you can choose one of those categories to work on. Try it on, think about the things that you've got coming up, or even look back in your diary in the last 12 months and the different events that you've been to, special occasions. What are you wearing to work? What are you going to wear to work? A little bit tricky if you're like the spinner and you're in a little bit of transition space. But keep in mind as well that fashion changes quite quickly. I know we don't all need to be fashionistas, and we don't all have to be wearing right up to the minute things, but even you know, shoulder pads or, you know, those sorts of things change and can look quite dated quite quickly. So just be aware of those sorts of things. If you've been in corporate for a long time, even if you do go back to corporate, maybe it's not quite the things that you're wearing. Things are a lot more casual these days from what I understand. There probably are still places that would have a suit and tie and really get dressed up, but again, it's a bit tricky when you're in a transition to know what to keep, but just keep in mind some of those things as well. Don't forget to have a go at selling your unused items if they cost you a bit of money in the first place. Don't expect to make $1 million, and it is time consuming. So just weigh up your time. How do you want to spend it? Selling it, or can you just donate it to somebody, you know, fitted for work? Some of those places that you can donate items to people that are looking for work. And could actually wear it along to an interview. I need to keep moving along. And give yourself a limit as to how much you will keep. So you might just go, all right, I'm going to keep 10 jeans, 10 shirts, 10 jumpers. You know, give yourself a bit of a capsule wardrobe, but it can be extended. I did this a few years ago when I was presenting a workshop in person about decluttering your wardrobe, and I took 36 pieces with me, just fit on one rack. That was when I was working in an office all the time, because we know that we often only wear 20% of the clothing that we have. So took it in, just fit it on one rack. It's like, well, here's my wardrobe, and you could see all the things we could mix and match. So give yourself a limit as well as to how much stuff that you are going to keep. And practice decision making as well to help you let things go. It can be general decision making, like give yourself 2 minutes to decide what to wear, and just choose it, just grab it, just wear it. And that decision making practice helps you get better at making those decisions, and it will help you decide, yep, I've got too many clothes, I need to get rid of them, or oh, I really couldn't find a good pair of black pants, I do need to buy them. So practice good decision making. Even when you're going to a restaurant, practice making a decision as to what you're going to eat. Give yourself a time limit, 2 minutes, that's it. And then back yourself on those decisions. This decision making process can be really helpful when we are decluttering. As I said, don't forget about the excuses. Be very mindful of them. You know, I've never worn it before. It's got the tags on it still. If that is the case, it's in perfect condition to either donate or to sell. If you've not worn it, somebody else might love to. Some other excuses, a clutter-free home would be boring. I'm not suggesting that everybody just needs to live in a white box that looks like a show home, but less is more a lot of the time. Another excuse that I hear is, you know, I need to get organized and I need some systems, but it's often that they need to declutter first before they get organized because there's just too much. And also, people always tell me they're overwhelmed and don't know where to start. So some of these tips that we've been talking about hopefully have been helpful as to stopping the stuff from coming in so that you've got a fighting chance to tackle this backlog. You know, start the sorting, get yourself in the right frame of mind, and then some of these tips that we've been talking to about letting things go. Before I go on to the next step, let me have a look at the chat and then we'll ask. Jade says, take pictures of the outfit to see how you really look later on. So that's a great way to do it. Stand in front of a mirror or however you want to do it. MJ says, donate those clothes that no longer fit. I love it. Despina says that she also sews and changed a double-breasted jacket into a single breast. Holy moly, that would have taken some effort. Good on you. With new shoulder pads, new buttons, and maybe this was an excuse to keep it. Well, if you're going to wear it, that's fantastic. What a great way to upcycle. MJ says, when I left the corporate, or she retired, I donated all my office outfit to the salvos as I got tired of looking at them. And since they've worn them over the years. So yeah, you do get a bit tired of looking at it, I can imagine. So what are some other ways to let things go, or some other good donation places before we move on to the next step? What's some other things that you talk to yourself about when you're decluttering to help make the process easier? Karen got something to say? Jade, you got any other pearls of wisdom for us? Appreciate that you've been sending us messages. No, that's all right. Well, let's move on to the next
I was just
step.
typing something.
Yeah. Do you want
I was
to?
saying, I've just come back from overseas, and knowing I was coming today inspired me. So instead of bundling up all my swimmers and cover-ups back into that summer box, I went through the whole box
Wow.
and removed probably about a third of it.
And that's a good time to do it because you've just been using those items. So you pretty well know that the stuff you didn't take or you didn't use, you're probably not going to grab next time.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's why I'd like to start on the winter things now.
Yes.
While they're being used, because usually what you do, oh yeah, I'll sort that out in summer.
That's right. And then you just don't feel like it. You want to put a big jumper on when it's hot. I love it. My oldest son is I'll get to you in one sec, Rebecca. Thank you. I can see you put your hand up. One moment. My oldest son is rearranging his room at the moment. So all of his clothes that he's been wearing lately are out on his bed. So I said, well, let's start in the drawers and in the wardrobe to be able to declutter them because he's obviously not wearing them. They're still in the drawer. They're still hanging up. He hasn't worn them for weeks and weeks. So that's where he started. Similar idea, Karen, that yeah, start with the stuff you're not using. Excellent. Thanks for sharing. Rebecca, what can you tell me?
So we are in summer right now, and I'm going through my summer t-shirts and all of that kind of thing. And it was quite overwhelming because I had a lot. And so what I've been doing is every time I get dressed or undressed, I try on 2 or 3 items.
Clever.
And you know, I'm through about half of the box right now. So then that you don't have that feeling of I have too much, I can't do it, spend an hour trying on stuff. So it just makes it much easier if you do a couple of items every time you get dressed and undressed.
I love it. You already got your clothes off. Just put a couple of things on and off again, and then move on with your day. That is an awesome tip. Thank you for sharing. Good luck with the rest of it.
Thank you.
All right, one more thing and then we'll move on. Jade says, I always ask, is this something I'd buy today? If not, I get rid of it. Ah, Jade, you can write a book. You've got some good tips up your sleeve. So she said, I always ask, is this something I'd buy today? If not, I get rid of it. I love it. It's fantastic. And Dollar says going to Vinnie's and dropping off a huge bag. Good on you. Love it. Some of those big op shops are great places just to be able to take it, and they can pass it on to people that need it. Let's keep moving. We are on to easy storage. I'm going to whip through this one. I will spend a bit of time on storage because it's an important thing. And Karen asked, and a couple of other people have asked about folding and that sort of thing. So let's spend some time on this. So easy storage, the 5th step is deliberately write all the way down this end of the system because we should have less now. We should have decluttered some, and that's the best time to decide how you're going to store it. There's no good trying to store things when you're only just starting because you don't know what you're going to end up with. So we might have decided, okay, we're just going to hang on to 15 pairs of jeans. Where are we going to put them? Are we going to hang them? Are we going to fold them? Are we going to roll them? And I'll show some other items that are handy in the wardrobe to be able to help with easy storage. So easy storage is all about creating permanent homes for your items so that you can be like me and get dressed in the dark if you need to. You can just literally put your hand out and you know where things are. You're not having to rummage through, go to another wardrobe, whatever it might be. You have these permanent homes where things are. Now we can have beautiful matching items, you know, make it look beautiful, absolutely. And again, this is the time to do it. We didn't go out the street, didn't go to Kmart, we didn't go to Walmart, we didn't go to wherever you might, you know, container store and buy a heap of stuff at the start to get ourselves sorted because we didn't know what we were going to be organizing, but now we do. So if you want to make it look beautiful, absolutely knock yourself out now. But it's really just looking at you and your position, maybe your physical strength and mobility. A lot of my clients have disabilities, so the fancy things aren't always so important. It's just whether they can access it is, really helpful. And it needs to be easy. It's called easy storage so it can fit in the word system, but it has to be easy as well. Otherwise, you're just going to drop it on the floor. It's going to be on the floor drobe. It needs to be easy to be able to put things away when you've used them. Easy to find them, easy to put them away. We also talked just before about seasonal storage. So have a think about those sorts of things. If you haven't got a lot of space, you might be able to put some things away if you've got somewhere you can put them. But if you've got a really small home, then some of these other items that we're about to share in a moment might be helpful. But as I said right at the start, the easiest way to organize yourself is to have less to start with. So let's move on to some of these storage items that we can use. And I'm sure many of them are using them, just like a little tub. There's the felt tub, number one on the top left, open, might be in a cube unit. It might be down the bottom of your wardrobe with shoes in it. It might be up the top with some summer gear that you're not wearing at the moment. Quite a versatile thing to be able to put lots of different items in. Or you might have some tubs like number two with the lid, again for seasonal storage, or it might be under your bed, it might be in the garage, or it could be, where else could it be? Anywhere in the home, I suppose, with some clothes that you're not wearing very often. Number three is a zip felt sort of bag. Again, seasonal storage might be used in there. Or if you've got a lot of knits and that sort of thing and you only have open shelves, this might be an easy thing for you to be able to roll up your knits and put them in there neatly, rather than if we get a big pile of knitwear or folded items, sometimes they can fall around. So these could be quite handy to be able to sort of contain it. And again, that might be your boundary. We only keep enough, thermal underwear or, undergarments to fit in that one container. And that can be sort of used a bit like a drawer as well on your shelves or under the bed, wherever it might be. Number four is a hanging compartment that goes in your wardrobe. It sort of clips around the rail at the top. You can use it for shoes, jumpers, underwear, anything that you might need some little compartments for. Let me know if you're using any of these things. I'm going to ask you what I missed as well. Number five, there is a flatter compartment, and it is probably to go under the bed. We've used these in the past for our kids' shoes. They'll just have it open, not even with the lid on, under the kids' bed, and they can just use their foot to slide the tub in and out. And it's just sort of easy access under the bed. And number six is very important. That's the clothes basket that your clothes go into when you've worn them and they need to be washed, rather than put them on the floor. So make sure you could have a couple. You might have one in your bedroom, maybe one in the laundry, one in your bathroom, wherever you're getting yourself undressed, to make it nice and easy. But make sure you've got one. I've been at many, many houses that they don't have somewhere to put their dirty clothes. Number seven can be used for hanging multiple pairs of pants. It could be used for hanging lots of scarves or belts, lots of accessories. Just gets lots of little places to be able to hang things from, and then hang it in your wardrobe or hang it on a door. Number eight is a shoe rack that could also be used to put bags on, or something, any little item that you need to be able to stand upright. That could be handy for that sort of. And again, only have that many pairs of shoes. And of course, get yourself some good clothes hangers. lots of people like different ones for different reasons. This one I think is, you know, a sort of a velvet covered one, quite skinny, which means you can fit lots in the wardrobe and things don't fall off. So that's just a few different items to be able to help in the home. But again, if you need something specific, just Google it, have a look. What's a good way to hang lots of scarves? What's a good way to use deep shelves in the wardrobe? And it will come up with lots of different suggestions as well. There's just some open shelves with some folded items again. Probably can't have too many things stacked or they start to fall over. And you can have some little dividers. These are expandable drawer dividers from Kmart. You can get them anywhere, Amazon, wherever. And this one's just got the underwear divided in the drawer with these dividers, but you can use them in lots of different places in the home as well. Back to the question about folding, rolling, storing, how is the best way to do it? Well, it really depends on you. If you look at that and go, oh, there's no way in the world I could do that, don't do that. You know, you come up with one of those other ideas that we had, just so these look like little kids' t-shirts, I think. Maybe they might just all be in one open tub that the kids can just grab their t-shirts out of. But this is obviously something that takes time and patience. Some people love it. Of course, is made popular by Marie Kondo, and the idea of, you know, thinking their items, looking after them, folding them beautifully and putting them in. It looks stunning, but you need to have the time and the commitment to be able to upkeep this. It doesn't take a lot of time. It takes more time than just stuffing it into a box or into the drawer, but it does need some commitment. So there's no right and wrong. Really just thinking about you and your situation. How do you want to spend your time? Again, we've only got 168 hours a week. Do you want to spend it folding your underwear? Completely up to you. What storage item did I miss? Is there something that you swear by? Let me know. Yeah, Despina.
I like the belt, the coat hanger that has multiple hooks that you can put belts on.
Yep.
Also the IKEA round ones for the crochet ones for scarves.
Yes.
That works really well for me.
Yep.
I think they're I also experimented, because while I don't want to have too many pairs of jeans, I do need different pairs of trousers for different lengths that go with different shoes.
Yep.
So depending on, and so I'm also experimenting with a coat hanger that kind of goes down, so you can put 5 pairs of trousers on it, but then it goes down.
Yeah, they are good for lots of pairs. Yeah, good, nice one. You've got some, and I love the word experimenting as well. You give it a go and see how it goes. Yep, excellent. Just checking the chat. MJ says the plastic airbag where you can suck the air out with a vacuum. That's great for out of season stuff, isn't it, MJ? And it's great for linen and that sort of the thing as well. That the space bags, you put the items in, get the vacuum cleaner out, it squishes down to really small, and then you can store it away somewhere, taking up very little space compared to what it started. All right, let's have a look at maintenance. 6 minutes, perfect. Step 6, the last step of the space and time organizing system is maintenance, and it says return stuff to their permanent homes after use every single time. So as we mentioned before, taking your clothes off at the end of the day, hang them up. Take your shoes off at the front door, put them at the front door or on your shoe rack. Whatever it is, whenever you're taking clothes off, whenever you're bringing them into the home, return them to their permanent home. Give yourself a little bit of time to adjust if you're trying out something new, like Despina says she's experimenting with some of these things. Give it a go. If it's not working, try something else, but don't just keep trying different things. You've got to apply a full stop at some stage. You've got to decide, well, this is good enough, and stick to it. These tools that we've been using today, Again, they're not magic. These containers don't, suck our clothes back in at the end of the night. The coat hangers don't automatically go and the clothes reappear. We need to use these systems and these tools every single time. As I said, they're not magic. We need to be able to work them. And then periodically we can revisit the 6 steps. Rebecca was saying before that she's going through her summer clothes at the moment. So that's something that we can do periodically. We go right back to the start. We do, thinking about stopping more stuff. We get recommitted. We start sorting. We declutter. And then we go back to the storage and the maintenance again. So periodically we can do that. And it is a daily thing, decluttering. My youngest son has been tidying up his room as well, and being a teenager and grown so much over the last couple of years, it's like, oh gosh, that jumper is not going to fit you anymore. So things are always in transition when it comes to our homes and our clothing. So it's something that we need to revisit often. So this step in the system can be a time where you can get other family members involved as well. So if it's, either going through their wardrobe, or again, they could help you with your wardrobe. When you are at this step, the maintenance step is a really good time to get other people involved and sort of explain what you've done, to bring them along on the journey as well. If you're by yourself, that's awesome. You can just go ahead and not worry about it. But sometimes all of these tips can be a really useful learning tool, particularly for kids, or maybe your partner that you've been with for 28 years. Some of these things can be really good tools as well. And that second last point there that says know yourself. So choose the time of day that suits your energy levels. And this goes right back to the second step, your commitment to being organized. As I've said a few times, I'm a morning person. I do this sort of thing in the morning. Don't ask me to do anything after about 8:30 at night, because my brain is just starting to shut down, ready for bed at 9:30. But if you're a night owl, maybe you would be doing some of these steps of the system later at night. I don't want you to be up at 3 o'clock in the morning doing this work, but know your energy levels, know the amount of time that you can commit to it, and when's your best time, and stay committed to being organized. So I'm just going to wrap up and let you know what we've got coming up over the next couple of weeks, but have a think about what was the best tip of the day today. Pop it in the chat. What was the best tip, and what's your new habit that's going to help you get and stay organized with your wardrobe? We'd love to hear from you all. So stopping more stuff from coming in the first place is a great way to start. Get committed to being organized, sort the stuff, set up the storage or the permanent homes, and keep it up. Small wins and keep going. So our next workshop is in 2 weeks' time, and that's digital decluttering. Haven't done this one for a while. I think it might even be nearly 12 months since we've done it. We're going to have a look at photos, files, and emails. It's going to be a high-level view of decluttering all of those things. We're not going to get down in the weeds and show you how to back up your photos or anything like that. It's really about starting to get yourself in the process. So look forward to seeing you there. We'll send out the link this afternoon when we send the recording, so you can register for this one. But if you're like Karen and found that it is full, I don't think this one is yet, but always just send me a message. We can, now that you've been to a few of our sessions before, you're always welcome, and we can just send you the link. So let us know if you have any trouble, but look forward to seeing you at 2 weeks for that one. And I also have a one-on-one coaching program. If you would like some help from afar, or if you're in Melbourne, let me know. But if you would like some weekly accountability, I've got a program called Get and Stay Organized, and we spend an hour on Zoom each week. set up your goals, review what you did last week, set up goals, and then help you with the accountability to get and stay focused. So let me know if you're interested in that one. So, look at that. It's 11 o'clock. Any final thoughts? What we've got here? Dollar says, thanks for all the tips, Julie, and everyone will try the apps. I love that idea. MJ, no more excuses, and we'll be more generous in donating. I love it. What else were the aha moments, the top tips for the day? Despina, what are you going to take for your interesting collection in your transition that you're on?
I think for me, because it is, I've also got some stuff that could go to consignment because it's high value stuff.
Yeah,
so that would also help me while I'm unemployed.
Yes.
To maybe declutter and at the same time have some income.
Great
so
idea.
That would be one thing. I need to get re-engaged beyond Salvos and Vinnies on what other really good charities are, because I want to make sure that my clothes are going to people that will get them.
Yeah.
Not the staff volunteering, nor the rag recycling place, especially because of that circular economy. So, so for me, I've got to connect to Australia, but where I can really remind myself is, and that's what I'm trying to do with the wardrobe app, is to remove the duplicates.
Yeah.
Very similar.
Good start. Yeah. Have a look. You're on Facebook?
Yes, I am.
Yeah. Have a look at Borundara. Borundara Hard Rubbish Rehome. So that's a local group here to me in Ashburton, but anyone is welcome to visit it. You do need to join it, but they've got amazing, swapping and sharing going on. But one of the best things that's on that site is a file that you can download. So once you've been accepted to the group, you go onto files, and they've got, an A to Z of donations and rehoming.
Perfect.
So have a look at that. It's got some mind-boggling things that you would have no idea that you could recycle or rehome, or charities.
That's great, because while we were overseas in Greece with the crisis, it was very easy to donate to relatives in the church.
The people
and
that
while
need
we were in Switzerland, even though Switzerland's a very different market, there was a Ukrainian charity, and I knew that anything we were giving them, it was going to people in need.
That need it.
And that's really where I want my stuff to go.
Yeah, good. Check that list out. So go to the files area and download that list.
Thank you so much.
Pleasure.
Great session, Julie.
You are welcome. Thanks for coming. One last thing. Jade says scheduled time to do it all. Yes. Good on you, Jade. And I love the Rebecca's tip of just trying on a couple of outfits as you're getting undressed and dressed in the mornings. That's a fantastic way to do it. Might take you a few weeks, but much easier than overwhelming yourself trying to do it all. Thanks again, everyone. Lovely to see you. Look forward to seeing you in 2 weeks for digital decluttering. Thanks, Karen. Thanks, Rebecca. Thanks, Despina. Thanks for your input. MJ, awesome. Always enjoy seeing you. Thanks, Dollar. Bridget. See you all soon.
See ya. Bye-bye.
See ya. Thank you.